Hello and welcome to a brand new Five Heart Podcast live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. I'm your host, Greg Mahochko, the co-host, Minnie Hunt. Hello, Minnie. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, Greg. I'm great. How are you?
Well, depends. Aaron says I'm tardy, so.
Uh-oh. I'm marking that down, Aaron.
No, I'm tardy, apparently.
Oh.
The show's tardy. The show's late.
Oh.
There's a certain expectation that was not met. And sorry, everybody.
Yeah, but we had so much work to do with getting the show notes to the masses.
Yeah, I'm still working on the behind the scenes stuff, so you know, it is what it is. We're gonna have a great show. Lord knows it's gonna be long enough. And yeah, so everybody had a great week and nothing bad happened, right? Right. I feel like that's something we all can agree on.
Oh yeah. Yes.
That did inspire a lot of confidence.
Well, today got even better with Matt Rule giving us a press conference, so that's exciting.
Are you skipping around the format?
No, okay, I'm just making small talk.
Oh, okay. Yes, it was a lovely press conference. There was scarlet and cream all over the place, red and white. It was the thing that dreams are made of. When they said, "Give us a press conference at the end of June and knock it out of the ballpark," that's exactly what we got. I, for one, feel blessed.
He gives us all kinds of information. I mean, it's really kind of neat.
Is it too much information?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
There's no such thing.
I don't know. You can tip your hand a little too much.
Oh, well, I don't think he does that. Okay. I think he just tells us like the goings on about, what's going on in the Big Ten and peek behind the curtain.
I am here for it. More of that, less of everything else. That's what I say.
All right. Well, what are you doing there, Greg?
I'm still frantically trying to get these photos saved so that we have the visual elements in our show.
Oh, that's so nice. Guys, look at how hard Greg works for this show.
He sure does, guys and gals. Everybody needs to know.
It's not like I didn't find the pictures for him and send them to him and write all the notes. I'm kidding.
That's you know what?
We appreciate you, Greg.
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, says Minnie's making a list and checking it twice.
Ooh, in June. It's not even Christmas in July.
It felt like it in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and in parts of Montana where they were having blizzard-like conditions. Imagine doing summer fall workouts and practices in a blizzard, because that's what was going on. I don't know if you heard about that this week.
No.
Yeah, so I'm not allowed to Google it, obviously, and I wouldn't know. Look, for the sake of the show, just trust me. You can look it up later, but there was the video clip on YouTube or X or something like that of high school kids practicing in a blizzard in, I believe it was Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So
that's too cold. Way too cold.
Thank you, Aaron Keene. Highlander Gun, I'm not slacking. I just, honest to God, I just finished recording with Haas. So, I have my regular job that pays me, and I had work tonight, and I had to come home and record with Haas, so that show can drop tomorrow, because I'm bad. I should have said to Haas on Monday, I said, hey, what night works best to record? And he's like, I'm going to the College World Series. That's not conducive to recording. I said, we could do it Thursday after Five Heart Podcast, and he says, how about we do it before? So
Okay. So you double booked us? Is that what you're telling us?
I got that show out on
feel
time.
like
I mean, I got that show recorded on time. Justin, thank you. Greg, you're doing your job just as great as I'd expect someone like you to do it. That is, I appreciate that. That is the nicest thing that anybody said to me in the last 6 minutes since the show started. So thank you, Justin.
and he means it. Every single word. So did you catch that we had an early, like, as the Rooster Crows show from Coronation this morning?
Yes, there was a Monday Night Therapy on a Thursday morning. And
Thursday morning.
John said, basically, and I'm not wanting to put words in his mouth, but he said, get used to it. This is what it's going to be. We have to do these things when the schedule allows it. So,
What does that mean?
It means we might have less Monday Night Therapy on Monday nights and more Monday Night Therapy at 10:30 on a Thursday or Wednesday or whenever.
All right. I'm up for it. It freaked me out a little bit. I'm like, what's going on? Of course, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning here, 5:30 or 6 o'clock. I have no idea.
Let's not get carried away. All right. It wasn't
It
that.
was.
It wasn't that
It
early.
was.
I
It
think
seemed like it was.
I'm pretty sure that show got going at like 10 o'clock Central.
Okay. Well, that's 8 o'clock in the morning here.
I mean, Sports Center starts at like 3 o'clock in the morning there, I guess. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do. Yeah. It was a John decision. It's all John's fault. John had to do what John thought was best, and because of that, John's too spent apparently to come hang out with us. So
yeah, it's true.
I guess this is why I drink.
It's true. Yes.
Well, take us someplace, Minnie. What are we talking about first tonight?
Greg.
I mean, I know what we're talking about. I have the notes pulled up, but I just thought since you work so diligent, I thought I'd let you kick us off while I frantically try to put the images in here.
Here, get ready for my school teacher voice.
Nope.
Okay. Tonight's show.
Oh, God. I regret this. I already regret this, everybody. I apologize.
Well, okay. I just say it the way that I think it should be said. Of course, I'm still learning from you, Greg. I mean,
you need a better teacher.
Tonight's show.
All right, boys and girls.
Greg.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. Tonight's show will include Greg.
You said it will include Greg 3 times, and I have not gone anywhere. So yes, we know it will include me. What are we going to be talking about?
Gosh, you guys see this? I can't even talk about what we're going to talk about. Okay. Something to do with basketball. Something to do. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Nebraska Basketball has a big weekend planned in November, as well as a big visitor this week. What's that? We have a new quarterback and a new cornerback. Sunday's commitment, 4-star defensive lineman Malcolm Simpson. How's that Elite 11 going? Our 2025 commit TJ Lateef, how's he doing? We've got some big visitors on campus right now, as well as who's visiting this weekend. And who are we still after? 2 a.m. wins the UFL championship and championship game MVP. Nice. Today's happenings in Husker Nation, as well as which position group will have the most production for Nebraska football season 2024. Thank you. Go ahead, Greg.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
You are such an addition to this show that what I'm about to say, I don't want you to take offense at.
Okay.
I don't ever want to see a topic rundown at the beginning of the topics because I feel it's a little redundant.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do.
I don't think so. Like, we don't need a table of contents. We just need to get to the content.
I don't know. Maybe we should take a poll on this.
Let's. Okay. No, we don't have time. Did you? Are you highlighting things out of the format? Stop that.
Well, just because you were busy doing your thing, I'm just trying to help out.
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, one hell of an entertainer, says, "Is this the AI version of Minnie?"
Thank you. What was that? Oh, you said AI. My Alexa just went off.
I'm just looking to see if there's light behind the eyes, everybody.
What are you talking about?
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, wondered if this is the AI version of Minnie. And I was looking to see if there's like any life behind your eyes or if you're computer generated.
Greg, there's plenty of life here and you don't want to see it.
Oh, shit. All right. Let's see. Vince Watson says the poll is not in the notes. Jason says I was figuring that it was Greg's turn to catch some shit, but Minnie makes it so difficult. It could be the Arizona heat. Hello, Tude, if you're watching. I don't know who. I'm guessing that's supposed to be Todd. First thread of the show. Yeah, I'm glad we got that one out of the way. Hey, yeah. if you're like me and you need alcohol to get through the show, every time Minnie threatens me, why don't you just take a drink?
I didn't threaten you. Did I? Did I threaten?
Yeah. All right. So hey, let's do these basketball topics in chronological order. As far as what's happening right now. And what's happening right now is that we mean Nebraska, Coach Hoiberg, has four-star center Tommy, I'm probably going to mispronounce his name, and I apologize to him if I do, but I've got Mahachko, so I don't want, I'm not going to give out a ton of sympathy. Tommy Aneman, anyway, he's the number 9 center in the 2025 class, and he is visiting Nebraska right now. What a potential get that could be. I feel like our Nebraska men's basketball footprint is expanding. We're starting to really vie for players that we haven't ever really competed for as far as recruits in a long time. Just more of this, if this is going to sound so crappy, and I apologize in advance, but if we can get more stud guys like out of high school, and look, he's 6'10", 235, and he, like I said, he's the number 9 center in the class. He's the third rated player in the state of Minnesota, which is where he's from. He is warm on Nebraska, and he is going to visit officially. He's in town now for an unofficial visit. His official visit is set up for September 20th, but he has offers from Nebraska, DePaul, Iowa, Minnesota, Furman. In total, 11 offers. Let's see, what schools were we missing here? Montana, North Dakota, Northwestern makes the list. Penn State, Old Dominion, Wisconsin. But he is warm on Nebraska and cool on everybody else right now. So it's all very early in the process, but it's definitely a need that Nebraska has as far as big men. So we will keep our fingers crossed that good things happen and Fred Hoiberg and company can land Tommy Anneman. Sorry, Tommy.
It's pretty close.
I appreciate that vote of confidence.
Yes.
So that's one Husker basketball story. The other Husker basketball story encompasses both the men's and women's programs as they are going to do something, I suppose, kind of rare. They're going to have like Husker Day in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, coming up in November. And the women are going to take on, and I don't know how well anybody else can see this. So if it's difficult for you, just know it's difficult for me also. But the women are going to be taking on, I honest to God, can't even read that. South Dakota, yeah. And then the men on Saturday, November 16th, and the men will take on St. Mary's on the following day, Sunday, November 17th. It's going to be the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So, again, expanding our footprint to the north, and, because, why not, right?
Why not?
That's what I said.
It's not that far north, though. I mean,
no.
What is it? How far is it from Lincoln to?
That's a Google question, and I'm not allowed to Google.
You actually are. Whenever I ask you how far anywhere is from Lincoln, you are allowed to Google that.
I'm on it. Lincoln, Nebraska to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Yeah. 3.5 hours.
Oh,
I can drive further than that in a day of work. So,
yeah,
that's not too bad.
Wow.
But I'll tell you what, it does get us closer to, like the Minnesotas. There's only one Minnesota, but the prospects, the recruits in Minnesota, like a Tommy Heineman.
So. There you go.
TSD says South Dakota is in Russia. I don't think that's true. Fred says, hello, Fred, by the way. Either. 2 hours, 45 minutes from Omaha to Sioux Falls. So, yeah, tack on another 45 minutes, and that gets you to the 3.5 hours. So that's again, we'll take it. I'm going to save that comment, David Matney. That is a good comment I want to just mention in passing later. So, Jason says, we need all those shit hot South Dakota basketball players. I don't know what shit hot is, but I feel like it's a compliment.
I think it is.
I mean, honestly, God,
they're really good.
I think we just need depth, and so let's take it. And for some of the players on both men's and women's rosters, almost like a homecoming, including Coach Amy Williams. So I can't remember. I want to say it was South Dakota. It might be South Dakota State. Either way, I'm going to get roasted in the comments, and that's
You're
fine.
Right. You're right.
So
something like that. Yep.
Good opportunity to again expand the footprint and try to lock down as many, as much talent, as much elite talent. You're going to do that. You're not going to do that by ignoring. That's why when we left the Big 12, this is just conjecture, my opinion. We stopped giving a crap about Texas because we weren't playing in Texas anymore, and for a long time we lost out on some of those for whatever reason. When Mike Riley came in, we're like, oh, we need Calabrasca kids, and I feel like recruiting wise, especially for football, we floundered. We didn't really have a recruiting identity. We didn't have a recruiting base anywhere. So I'm appreciative of the fact that Matt Rule is not afraid to lean on his Texas connections and get us back into some of those schools, back into some of those houses. So,
Same.
Perfect. All right. Take us to our, what do we got next? We
have housekeeping. Woohoo!
This is where we get to say, now I like to say thank you at the end of the show because, it's more sincere. But this is where at least we get to remind you that if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you smash that like button as well as subscribe if you haven't, and ring that bell for notifications. Now, on another much larger YouTube channel, on their statistic, it said like half of the people who, be half of the devices, or I don't know, IP addresses, however they log these things or track these things, half of the people who are watching the videos are not actually subscribed. So they were like, hey, make sure you subscribe. We have, and I'm going to pull it up right now. Again, I know, shame on me. I'm such a jerk.
It's so funny. That's so funny that you say that.
Oh,
everyone I know that watches the show, they're like, we're waiting till you tell us to subscribe. Like, it's, guys, just subscribe.
I'm going to say this right now.
This is your personal invitation, please.
Right idea, wrong channel. We are still on the cusp. We're on the verge of 10,000 subscribers. Ooh. If you don't watch this already, then, if you're watching this and you don't subscribe, but also tell a friend. If we can get to 10,000 subscribers by next week, we'll have John on. We'll find a way to.
We will.
I have an idea. Get out some merch or something like that. We'll make it worth your while if we get to 10,000 subscribers by next week. So do that.
Mm-hmm. Jason Reeves, by the way, sorry, I have to show this. You're talking about my mother-in-law. So she's not dumb, not in the least. Jason Reeves.
Roger Moore says, God, country, subscribe. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says, let's get the channel to 10K subs. Yeah, that means your content's being pushed to a new audience.
Did you read the part that I snuck in there?
Not yet.
For housekeeping?
No, okay. Not yet.
I thought you would love it.
All right, let me see here, because I was going to talk about John's books. Let's see. Consider becoming a member and a part of our fan-amily. That's our fan family.
We came up with that word ourselves last week, guys.
Yep. Fred says, hey.
Actually.
Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, we were talking after the show, and I said, because we're getting a little mushy about this channel and how much we love the show. And I said, it's like a fan-amily. A fan-amily. And Greg's like, are you drunk? He couldn't understand what I was saying. It's a fan-amily. So we're a big fan-amily.
And if we can get to 10,000 subscribers by this time next week, we'll get John on here. We'll find ways to get some merch to you all. And Fred says everybody gets a shirt except for Greg. Still waiting. Tiger Shark Diver talks about John's book, Never Been to a Bathroom in Europe. That's a fact. My dog's coming over here to say hello. Nope, she's going.
Hi, Coco.
Hey, Coco, can you lay down somewhere? You're kind of loud. All right, just don't chew anything you're not supposed to. Yep, you hear the dog, Highlander Gun. John has some books. They're all out there. They're all available. YouTube. I'm sorry, not YouTube. Amazon. There we go. Been Dead, Never Been to Europe. Also, Manage Your Damage. And I still can't explain this hole in my head or something like that. I don't know. Check them out. And eventually, somehow, some way, we'll find a way to get Young Guns done before football season, because that's a promise we made. And we just have to figure out the logistics and the legality of it. But that is a thing we hope to do. And cobbycorn.com for the merch. I almost don't know how I missed that one, but cobbycorn.com.
As well as, see, it's catching on. Fan-amily.
Yeah, but you got to sing it.
We are fan-amily. All my Johnstons, Minnie, and me. We are fam. Okay.
You know, you made a song, or you worked up a song
Yeah.
based on Black Sabbath or Ozzy Osbourne's War Pigs. And I tried today to record that song, and it did not go well. Like, it just did not go well. But with a little help from Chat GPT, I come up with, or I didn't. Chat GPT did come up with like a second level to the song. So I'd like to at least recite.
Ooh, no, come on. You made me. Ready? You tell me when you're ready.
Cornhusker Corner says, "What's up? Good seeing you, Cornhusker Corner. Thank you so much for joining us tonight." Hi. And Huskers gathered in our cornfield, waiting for the chance to
wait. No.
Stop. You're gonna enjoy this when we get to it.
Okay.
Pain and suffering remembered. I made some slight alterations. Tonight, our weapons are unchambered. Defeat opponents as the game plays. The fans are here to stay. They won't sway. Coach Rule, our savior, here to remind Nebraskans of our ties that will bind. Touchdown, yeah. And then it goes on. Anyway, Huskers rising, never falling. This is the new part. Hear the crowd, the victory calling. Ooh. Underneath the stadium lights, red and white, we fight the fight.
Nice.
Yeah. I felt like that was worth it.
Shut up. Those are great lyrics.
Thank you.
They're fantastic.
And realistically, thank ChatGPT.
Well,
because I honestly thought that maybe they could
What is that?
It's AI.
So you had AI write the rest of the song?
I sure. Actually, I tried to have them like record it with like a Ozzy Osbourne style of vocals, and it just spit out lyrics. I'm like, that's why I needed to request access to the song lyrics so that I could throw them in. So now you should be able to see the complete. There's still a bunch of the song missing. Neat. So thank you, Melissa.
We actually have our own coronation hit here.
Thank you, ChatGPT. That's all I can say.
This is fantastic. I'm actually just as impressed with this as I was with your glasses last week.
You mean these glasses?
Uh-oh.
No, I won't. I won't do it tonight. We'll take a night off. All right. Let us continue moseying on. So it was announced earlier today, and I think you might actually have the actual announcement itself, that we have a new quarterback in our midst, in our quarterback room.
It's so fantastic, too, because we talked about this guy last week, and everyone here decided, okay, yes, we need him because he would be a good addition as a quarterback to our already wonderful room. So Jalen Granstead is now a Husker.
Oh, look at that. He's even used to wearing the colors.
He grew up wanting to be a Husker, you guys.
I think
this is like his lifelong dream.
Little known elements that I think bear repeating is that he and his family are from Iowa. He grew up a Husker fan, wanted to play for Nebraska. They all hate Iowa. He better see the field on Black Friday. That's all I got to say.
Yes. Yeah. And Roll even talked today about him, talking about wanting to become a coach and how he likes to take his players that want to be coaches and kind of mentor them. So, gosh, this just sounds really great.
Minnie, you want to read this comment from Fred?
What does it say?
Well, you got to read it.
Well, give me a second. Okay.
I mean, it's right there on your screen. I don't know how you're missing it.
Because, I can't. My screen is different this week. If you can't tell, okay. Oh, yeah, this is the kid that'll probably beat out Dylan. And send him packing? Really? Really?
I do like Tiger Shark Diver's comment here. Solid backup support, Joey Gans style. Joey Gans is, I think, one of the more underrated quarterbacks of the last 20 years at Nebraska. And what, he came in and there was a certain level of, I guess excellence, but I don't want to be too hyperbolic about it. Just he played very smart, very well. He doesn't get the accolades and the flowers I think he deserves. So,
okay, yeah.
Joey Gans played almost 20 years ago for Nebraska. Whenever you hear the name Sam Keller and people spit, and then they follow Joe Gans and people sing in angelic harmony.
Well, was that 20 years ago?
No, it wasn't quite. I mean, it was close to 20 years ago. Specifically, let's see.
I thought it was like, it was 90s?
No, he took over as quarterback late in the 07 season. And he was quarterback for 2008, and despite his short career, he held at the time more than 20 records. Now they have all since been beaten because that's the way that Nebraska football has gone as far as like just elevating the passing game. But yeah, Joe Gans, underrated.
Awesome. Sounds like we got our own Joe Gans. So he's been working out with the team today. What?
I was trying to highlight this comment from Aaron. What is going on? Is there a lag? Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Can anybody else? Because I kept trying to click this comment 3 times and it only finally appeared. Aaron was poking fun at you, saying you can't see the screen over your pile of notes, and I didn't mean to call her out. I was just addressing the situation.
Yes, there's a lot going on around here.
Lots
of notes.
The format that, by the way, this is what it's going to be from now on. You're going to get the very Cliff Notes version of the format in the write-up under the YouTube link and on Coronation, and then what Minnie sends to me is 2.5 pages of notes. Now that is trimmed down even from her 18 pages of notes that she has, and I believe that's typed single line space, size 10 Arial font.
It is.
I don't know how you do it.
Yes. Yes.
Cool.
I love it. That's how.
I hear you both. There's no lag that I see. You should keep all of your notes for the first year and then publish them.
Yeah.
TSD says, Minnie, you were the girl that he would ask to cheat on for tests, looking over your shoulder. And Husker Cave is here, and I'm highlighting Husker Cave because they're here from X, and we thank them. And it's proof that people on X can comment. So if you are watching this on X, just as a social experiment, go ahead and put in your credit card number and expiration date and last 3, and we'll send you some cobbycorn.com merch.
Have you gotten your t-shirt yet?
No. Come on now. Who are you kidding? All right. So that's not the only signed edition we have. You're going to tell us about this impressive player who signed and is joining the team, Mr. Doss.
You mean the red shirt freshman from last year, Jaden Doss, our new cornerback. And it was announced I think it was yesterday. Roll thinks he can play no, it was today, sorry. Rule thinks he can play wide receiver or defensive back, but it's his change of direction and quickness, plus his ball skills, that leads the staff to believe his upside is higher on the defensive side of the ball. Plus, we need cornerbacks. Right, Greg? I love this picture of him.
That is affirmative.
So good.
Yes, more cornerbacks, less of everything else. That's what I always say.
Well, yeah. I was looking at who we have as cornerbacks, because we know we have Tommy Hill. Oh, well, we'll get to that later. Who is healthy now, but we don't know about Blyhill still. So, it leaves a big question mark as to who's going to be playing cornerback. And we're getting to that in just a second.
Wolverine Nation in the house. And Wolverine Nation's had been a regular for a long time on Monday Night Therapy with John and Todd, and said, yikes, the show isn't what it used to be. And I'm not even sure what it used to be.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Highlander Gunn also says, what did it used to be? Like, I've been here from the beginning, and this show has just gone through evolutions. So I don't know.
The ebb and flow of the Five Heart.
Let's see. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, who would know a thing or two about staging for homes and things like that, says mini set is really on point. It looks sharp.
Oh, thank you.
And let's see. Jason Reeves says, I was down with our secondary, but there are some questions. This kid is a great addition and potential starter. And TSD says, by the way, Tommy Hill rated top 10 in cornerbacks in PFF. So,
yeah. Good deal.
All right. So who's next? I'm ready. I am ready for that next person. That next name that you're going to mention.
Well, are you going to give me a drum roll or something?
No.
Dang. Okay. On Sunday, we got our 11th commit for the class of 2025, Malcolm Simpson. He visited last week and announced his commitment just a week later, guys. Didn't take much convincing.
4-star.
He's 6'3". Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I was dying coughing, but I was trying to point to you to talk, but I'll come back and talk. 4-star edge rusher from Texas, 6'3", 235. And look, in the pads is one thing. I'm going to show y'all a picture of this young man out of pads, and you'll be like, all right, I don't know about that young part. This is all man. Look at this guy.
This guy is gigantic.
All right, so for those of you who may, his build as a high schooler reminds me of Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, who flirted with Nebraska a little bit before selecting Penn State. Now, I don't know, and now he's a Dallas Cowboy, or at least he was as of last season. I don't know if he's gone somewhere in the offseason. But this kid could be something real special.
Yeah, for sure. This is so exciting. I mean, he looks like he's already spent like 3 years at Nebraska. So
I would say to Fred's question, go ahead. You read the question, then I'll answer the question.
I mean, no. Fred wants to know, do we need to warn him about Minnie? You guys, you're excited about him too.
Here's the thing. We don't ever warn anybody. this part of the Husker initiation is they have to find out on their own.
Yeah.
So Jason Reed says give the height weight 6'3", 235. I mean, for comparison, I'm 6'2", 260, but I wear mine a little different. Like I wear mine like dad bod style. So I'm not lining up.
You're slimming down.
It is a very long process, and today was a battle. Let me just put it that way. But Malcolm Simpson is, look, it's the type of player that we need more. Again, Galveston High School, he is the 40th. This is, again, talk about Texas's depth. He is the 31st best defensive line prospect, the 40th best in player ranked in the state of Texas. And excuse me, I said 6'3", 235, at least based on the graphic. I'm going to his 247 profile has him 6'3", 255. In that case, I feel like I could, go one-on-one a little bit more. You guys are nuts in all the best ways. I love y'all so much. Jason says we didn't compare these players to ourselves. We're looking for long bodies with power and agility, and a long frame that you can, get in the weight room and add some muscle. Right? Not my frame, which I'm just adding 12 ounces at a time.
Greg, I have a feeling if you got to have Corey Campbell again as your strength and training coach
at age
Kristen
18, 19, or my age now?
Even now.
Okay.
I think you would look really good. Kristen is like in charge of your diet. I mean, think about it. Coco's tap dancing.
Come here, you smelly dog.
Oh, do we get to see her?
No. She's not.
Come on.
It's not my fault. She's walking away from me.
Coco.
She can't hear. I got earbuds in. What is in your mouth? Stop taking things that aren't food.
She's busy.
She's what?
She's a busy girl.
She needs to go lay her ass down.
Has things to do.
Yeah. She can go lay her ass down is what she needs to. So, with all of the resources, yes, I too could be much healthier. Unfortunately, I'm stuck with what I've got, which is not a whole lot. So, but I'm going to make the best of it. This is the one life I'm given, and
yes,
I'm going to,
enjoy your life.
I am 12 ounces at a time. All right. Well, let's roll on, because while Malcolm, as we mentioned, he visited, he committed, but there is another Husker commit for the 2025 class who's been doing some pretty good things. He's, I guess, the second Husker quarterback recruit to be Elite 11, right?
Right. And everything that I read was not super great. So it's like, I was wondering, should we even go there?
I feel it's necessary.
I'm going to okay. Can I put this comment up too?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So TJ Lateef is at the Elite 11, and he's one of 20 quarterbacks. They have 3 days of events. And so he hasn't looked like himself almost the entire time. Somebody actually thought that maybe he had a back injury, a lower back injury, because he's always been more fluid, more, and he looks really stiff right now. So Tiger Shark Diver said TJ Lateef went 17 for 23 for 4 touchdowns on 7 and 7. That was today. So I didn't read that yet. So that's awesome. He did better today. The last 2 days, not so great.
Fred, when I first saw this image, that's kind of what I thought too. And, they're not wearing full pads, obviously. They're, it's a less contact. The shades were what really did it for me. I think those are just standard eye protection. You don't see the guys on the sidelines wearing them. And living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says, can anyone explain to me what is going on with that goofy headgear? I'm guessing just incidental contact. I don't know.
I know. They're making it mandatory these days, so.
Well, that's fine, I guess. I mean, whatever. Safety first, I suppose.
It is safety first, yep. What are they called? Guardian helmets?
Sure. Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm going by what I believe. I'm trusting you, Minnie. I'm trusting you.
Okay.
Right or wrong, we're in this together.
We are. We're standing by that answer.
That's cool. Aaron Keene, I do remember this skit. He says the picture reminds me of Mike Myers' SNL skit when he was a slow kid with the helmet on a leash. I remember that.
Guys, really?
I mean,
okay, so I have a question. Greg, what do you think about, just even being invited to the Elite 11 is a big deal.
Well, not according to Moonbot. Happy. Moonbot 7 says that Elite 11 is overrated.
I mean, it is now, but I think it's still, wouldn't you rather have a quarterback on your roster that's been invited to the Elite 11 than not? So I'm just taking it all with a grain of salt.
No, that's fine. Give me as many elite players as possible.
Right.
Because I trust Fred. Fred says maybe Rule will keep him on a short leash at quarterback. Shameful. Funny, but shameful. I trust Matt Rule to, whether they're 4-star, 5-star, or 2-star, to squeeze every bit of talent and ability out of these kids to a level that probably hasn't been seen at Nebraska in over 25 years, probably since Tom Osborne, if I'm being honest. And that's no slight to Frank Solich. Frank Solich is a Hall of Fame coach. Mac, but Hall of Fame nonetheless.
We know.
But no, I think that the pieces are in place at the coaching staff to give these kids the best opportunity to achieve one of two goals. Finally bring some hardware back to Lincoln, and then to fulfill what has to be their lifelong goal of playing on Sundays. And Scott Frost wasn't able to do that. Mike Riley really is not. Mike Riley is a 500 coach. Bo Pelini, while he inherited talent, he stopped recruiting. Bill Callahan didn't want to adapt to any style in the college game. So then you go back to Frank Solich, and again, Frank Solich was in a bad spot because he was the heir apparent, which meant that, when the team underperformed, there was really only one head on the chopping block. So,
Yep,
that's right. But again, I understand the goofy padded helmets, but I also understand laughing at them from a distance too. So,
Well, Greg, do you want to talk about our favorite German?
Yes, because I can't wait for us to slap the moniker on this young man of the Hoff. There's technically a Hoff in pop culture. There has been for 40 some odd years. He was a Knight Rider. He was a Baywatch. He's a huge international singing sensation by the name of David Hasselhoff. But we have another, David Hoffkin. He's in town, and our German import, I suppose.
Yes.
We're just going to start calling him the
He's
Hoff.
in town. Hofkin. So they made...
Probably never going to pronounce it that way.
Yeah. Melissa's right. They moved him to defensive lineman. I love that he committed to Nebraska without ever visiting. That is just like my all-time favorite thing about this kid.
Really?
Well, not just that. I mean, you're right. Okay. There's other things.
I have questions about that. And by that, I mean, he never went anywhere else. He never came to Lincoln that's a awful big purchase sight unseen. You know what I mean?
It was his dream to play college football for a big school. And as soon as he committed, he's like, I'm all in. He goes, I know I'm not the first German Husker, but it's my goal to be the best German Husker.
Why does he sound so Italian?
Everyone I do sounds
it's
Italian.
I'm not the first German Husker. But I hope to be the best German Husker.
There you go. I love that, Greg. You do a good Italian. Okay, I wanted to read this to you guys because this is so cool.
I'm so excited.
But I have to find it.
Uh-oh.
Okay. What would I do with it? He came from Gridiron Imports. The guy who owns Gridiron Imports, or the president or whatever, was talking about him, and they said that, here it is. This is my favorite thing. Remember last week we were talking about how Todd likes to rate players by their derriere?
Nope.
Badonkadonk.
There we go.
And then we said Coach Schultz, Henry Schultz for Nebraska, he was rating players by their big wrists. Well, this guy said, what did he say? He said, okay. Where is it? Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. I should have had it up. You should see. Oh, here it is. If you look at him, he's one of those guys, like if they measured him for the combine, his knee circumference is amazing. The biggest damn knees I've ever seen. So, there's another measurement for us. How big are your knees?
I just never... That is none of your business. I'm a married man.
No, I'm just like, you probably have a football type body for your description, right?
I have a pear-shaped body.
Well, I
look like a football, and that I'm rounder in the middle than I am on the ends.
That's what we had prior to Matt Rule getting in Lincoln.
Aaron Keene says, suddenly I'm a comfortable buddy. She's not asking how wide your whatever round your knees are, man. I'm just saying.
Guys, no.
She starts asking how wide my thighs are. I'm be like,
what does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. I'm being my usual self.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Greg, no, not the broom. So he's not. I mean, we have a lot of people coming in. Tell us more about the transfer portal cornerback from Southern California.
Ew. The guy from USC?
Southern
Say
California.
you're
yes.
right. We think that's how to pronounce his name. Sayer.
I was gonna say Sayer, but I like it. I'm not picky. It's beer 30. That's all I know.
Sayer right.
No.
Okay, Sayer right could play a role immediately with the injury of Bly Hill, because we don't know how he's doing, if he's going to be able to come back and play. He'll be playing opposite Tommy Hill, so as a cornerback. He's played in 23 games for the Trojans, 11 starts, and he has 2 years of eligibility remaining. And he's on campus right now.
That's awesome.
Yep. I don't know about his knees, so.
Aaron Keene says, does he even have knees? He looks a bit like a lawn flamingo. And I did point that out when I was again frantic. This was like my mental state for the last 3 hours is when I saw this, I was like, he played college ball. Like, don't we have a picture of him from college? I don't want to use anything. We're not going to put Southern California on our podcast. And I was like, all right, I didn't realize it was our podcast. Okay, moving forward.
I'm very particular about these pictures. If you haven't noticed, like, I don't want to show pictures of them with other schools' uniforms. Sorry.
That is okay.
Not sorry.
Good. Someday, I mean, they're all wearing other uniforms to a degree, like Loyola, for example.
Well, yeah, but not like a direct competitor. That's what I mean.
I mean, I think it'd be nice to see him. It might instill more hope and confidence to see him playing at a Division I level. But hey, this is not my show; it's our show, and I will just sit back and take it. So
I love you are the yin to the yang that I try and bring here.
Wait, is that good or bad? Like, am I the positive energy or the negative energy?
Well, I don't know. I say up, you say down. I say right, you say left. I say good, you say bad.
Anybody else suffer from tinnitus? It's the worst.
What's tinnitus?
It's when you get like a high-pitched ringing in your ears that just doesn't go away. It's not fun. It's years of radio, years of loud music in my cars. Fred says, you're the fat energy is what she's saying, Greg.
I didn't say that.
And Jason Reeves tells me to take it like a broom. At least he didn't say, I'm not entirely sure what you're trying to say there, Jason.
I like that he uses a broom, though.
Ow! I don't want to take. We're going to move on. All right, there's a plethora, a gosh darn abundance of football players on campus right now, taking some visits to Lincoln. And we're just going to try to get through these as quickly, but with images, because we have images on everything now, as possible. So I'm going to start the first one, Minnie, and you're going to tell us a little bit more about one of these members who's already in the class of 2025.
I'm going to do what?
Just read the screen and tell what you can say about Jamarion Parker.
Okay.
That should not have been nearly as complicated as that was.
Well, he's already committed. He's committed, and we're thrilled to have this 4-star Jamarion Bonner running back for the class of 2025. He's 6 foot, 185 pounds. He is from Cardinal Ritter College Prep. What?
No, you're doing.
Why did you shake your head? No.
No, because I was confused. You're fine. Keep going. Don't let me stop you. Don't let me slow you down, kiddo.
Gosh, Greg. Guys.
What?
Well, he committed on June 5th.
That was like 2.5 weeks ago. I
know. June is just flying by. Seems like he's been a Husker already for like months.
But in fact, it's only been weeks.
I know. It's only been weeks. Only 2 weeks. So he'll be here this weekend. Happy to have him in Lincoln.
I think we talked about him before.
Yes.
He's listed as the number 17 running back in the country, number 4 in the state of Missouri. He is committed to Nebraska. He had, just trying to look quickly at his stats. 2023 stats, he rushed for 1,644 yards on 147 attempts. If I could do math quickly and, anyway, 22 rushing touchdowns. He tacked on another 16 receptions for 267 yards and 4 scores as a junior. Could be, let's see. He also ran a 10. We talked about this, so I apologize for the rehashing. He ran a 10.99 100-meter dash as a freshman a few years back. So that track speed that shows up on the football film is what they say. He's a Power 4 starter. And now he's committed to a Power 4 team. How about that?
I love this comment here. Jason Reeves says, how the hell are we convincing these kids that we're really, really serious this time? We want to run the ball. We need to, in some instances.
RTFB, run the football. That's not really what the F stands for. But if I ever get that shirt from John that says RTFB, I'm going to have to tell my kids it means run the football. So, but that's a pretty big if. I'm not putting a lot of hope on ever actually seeing that shirt.
You're already planning what you're going to say. You're planning when you're going to wear it. John better come through. That's all I know.
Well, again, he has my address. He has the correct address because I'm supposed to be allegedly getting a board game here too that nobody will want to watch us play live on the show. Fred says we won't run the ball at all with St. Dylan at the helm and Minnie and Rules headset. Or on the chain gang. She could work her way even closer than the headset. I don't think they let people run the chain gang at the D1 Power 4 level if they have no chain gang experience. And Minnie didn't actually fulfill her obligation of working the chain gang in Arizona. So
dang it, I should have gotten my experience.
You should have. That's the only way.
I didn't know. I had no idea I could use it for future.
Yeah, that's right.
Endeavors.
So another player who's on campus right now is not yet committed to Nebraska, but he's a tight end from Millard South. He has an offer from Nebraska as well as Kansas State, Missouri, and Oklahoma. Tight end Chase Lofton is that sure is an image. It's a little grainy. I apologize. That's on me. That's on me.
It's on him.
Sorry, y'all. But anyway,
Greg's fault.
Yeah, totally. I found all the images. I'm a horrible human being. 6'5", 200-pound tight end. The tight end room is kind of stacked. He's listed as the number 2 tight end in the class of 25 in Nebraska. Also listed as number 2 player in Nebraska. I don't think we even mentioned Florida State. He has an offer from Florida State as well as Arkansas, Texas A&M. They're not allowed to recruit against Nebraska anymore. We've seen what happens there. His brother is a tight end at Kansas State, Braden Lofton. So maybe he wants to become that legacy player. Maybe he wants to strike out on his own. Don't know. But he had an unofficial visit to Florida State back in April. He's on his official visit right now. Did an official visit at Missouri, Florida State, and Texas A&M already. So he's been to Florida State twice this spring, in April for the unofficial and just a couple weeks ago for the official visit. So I don't know, maybe they're a little warmer, but I'll say this, Nebraska's sitting all right with tight ends. I mean, we've got 7 already with a new commit for the 2025 class. Florida State has 5 tight ends on the roster with no current commits. Missouri, I mean, if you're looking at what I'm looking at from 247 Sports, you would say Missouri is where they need the help the most. They only have 3 tight ends on the roster. Meanwhile, Arkansas has 10 tight ends, or 10 players listed as tight ends on the roster. So who knows? So yeah, Fred says 6'5", most of it neck. Josh finally decided to show us and said, "Hey, yo, if I had a toothpick, I'd throw it at the camera."
There he is. Hey, Josh.
Well, you missed about 68 minutes of the show that we're not going to rehash. So I encourage you at the conclusion of this to go back and watch it. I can say that because we used to be roommates. So,
I feel like you just say whatever you want to him, and he just puts up with it.
Yeah, but what you don't know is that off air,
you even banned him.
He says whatever he wants to me. See, I'm getting blamed. Sorry, hey everyone, Greg didn't give me my weekly reminder. Blame him, like it's my fault. Like I'm his parent too, apparently. That's right. I didn't sing War Pigs. I sang Corn Pigs. That's a Highlander gun. Well done. That's a good song, or good song title.
We are total. That is a great song title. Corn Pigs. And Greg.
Yes, ma'am.
That is probably, I mean, you have to continue with this. See, you improved on my lyrics. You added to them. Now let's finish out the song.
Okay. I will definitely get ChatGPT to work something up for that.
Awesome.
Okay. Fred says, Corn Pigs. That's just the Iowa cheerleader special ops team.
Oh my God.
There we go. And Aaron's right there. I thought Corn Pigs were Iowa cheerleaders. Learn something new every day. Melissa says, I heard he is sure-handed. I guess we're talking football again. Thanks, Melissa. Thanks for keeping us on track.
All about the football.
Somebody's got to be here. Somebody's got to keep us on task tonight. So thank you, Melissa. We appreciate you. Also on campus this weekend is a wide receiver from Hutchins, Texas, and that would be Raheem Rah-Rah. I don't have a last name.
Rah-Rah Hutchins.
That's
his nickname. Rah-Rah.
I thought you said he was from Hutchins, Texas.
No, that's his last name, Hutchins. He's
okay.
From Texas.
Gotcha. Now I know.
Yeah. Raheem goes by Rah-Rah. Which I love that nickname.
From Pearland, Texas. He's a 3-star. Well, the 247 composite has him as a 4-star, but they also have him as a 3-star. 6 foot 160. He has offers from Houston, Memphis, Nebraska, Boston College, Michigan State. Let's see where else he got offers from. Sam Houston State, Texas Tech was on that list. Grambling, University of Texas San Antonio, UTEP, UCF. But he's only warm on 3, and that's Houston, Memphis, and Nebraska. So, again, Nebraska's doing this weird thing where we're hoarding talent. 18 receivers on the roster right now. Definitely highest by almost double most of the other teams or schools on this list. So the crystal ball says he's going to Memphis. So a lot of things can happen in a crazy weekend in Lincoln. Am I right? Haha.
It's going to be fun. Okay, Greg, let's talk about.
Yes.
It is going to be fun. I wish I was there. There's so much going on in Lincoln in the month of June. It's insane. Okay. We have a cornerback visiting, Bryson Weber from Texas. It's his second visit. And 24/7 Sports has him 100% crystal ball to go to Nebraska, which we need more cornerbacks, so that's fantastic. We're just hogging all the cornerbacks.
We do. We need, ran track as well, 6'2 and a half, 175. I think you said all that. From Ridgepoint High School in Missouri City, Texas, with offers from Baylor, Oregon State, TCU, Utah, etc. Ran a 10.56 100 and a 21.79 200 as junior in track. Had 22 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions last season as a junior. So got an official visit with Kansas in the rearview mirror, Utah, Baylor, TCU. And again, now he's in town this weekend for his official visit with Nebraska.
Yeah, nobody does it like Nebraska, though. We roll out the red carpet. It's true. I mean, I'm sure everybody has. You've been watching like how they provide them with all of these different colored jerseys, helmets. Like, we're going to do a show on what the best Nebraska uniform is. I mean, but it's funny to me because most of these kids pick the black one to get, as their social media picture.
Well, black is slimming.
That's not why they pick black.
How do you know?
I'm sure it's not, because they don't need help in that area.
That sounds an awful lot like someone who's never had to worry about that. Let me tell you, I'm very conscious about the color palette that adorns and drapes this majesty right here. Let me tell you. I'm a little offended by the fact you keep laughing. So,
Greg, because we saw you in suspenders. I mean, braces last week. That's why. And if you're really self-conscious about your attire, would you come on and show us all your,
I would. I really would. Fred says Minnie told Greg he'd be a great plus-size hand model. Let me tell you. Look at that. Can do everything your hand can do, but better because I'm a plus-size hand model.
Gregory.
Yeah. Oh, yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. When you're going to talk down to me, I just really want to put a straw in here so I can just keep my head down and drink my beer.
Maybe you can get a straw from David Matney with your koozie.
I don't know. I can't get a koozie, so I don't think I'm going to get a straw. I'll get it. Be the what comes first, the koozie or the shirt from John? Lord only knows. All right, so we've got other players who are listed as 3 stars, but they're still coming to town. And A lot of them are already committed to Nebraska.
So the first guy that we need to talk about is, and this is going to be an entertaining name to say.
I'm going to let you do it.
He's from Hawaii. Hawaii. Number 1 rated player in Hawaii, just like we got last year, guys. He's the interior offensive lineman, Houston Kahana Torres. Hope that's how you say it.
Lord only knows.
He is from the high school of Dominic Raiola.
Oh, I didn't know that. All I see is number 1 player in Hawaii - Dom R School. Dahmer School. Jeffrey Dahmer School.
No, I mean, he's huge. This kid is gigantic.
He looks like he's a well-fed young man.
Yeah, and I love this picture because this is when, obviously, Rule was in Hawaii for the Polynesian Bowl. He was able to get a picture with them. So that's great.
Are you sure?
What do you mean?
I don't know much about Hawaii, but I don't think that's Hawaii.
Why?
I think that's some rooftop in Lincoln.
Oh, you think he's visited Lincoln already? No.
Josh says, why do they need heavy coats if it's Hawaii?
It's not a heavy coat, but that's a good point.
I mean, I just feel like the buildings are unimpressive to be in Hawaii.
Actually, you're right. It does look like Lincoln. My bad. I thought it was Hawaii.
MK in the house says, looks like Memorial Stadium in the background. Fred says, pretty sure that's Lincoln. Yep. Jason Reeves says, right. It looks like Beirut. Jason, you know what? I appreciate the commentary, but you're not helping a whole lot tonight. Beirut, crying out loud.
Just gonna throw
not nearly as many not nearly as much missile damage. Come on now. All right, so Houston. All right, I'm gonna take an honest to gosh shot at this. Houston shit. I'm already affected. No, I'm done. I quit. Torres.
Greg.
I think it's more complicated than you.
Kahan. I know. I just made it really easy. I just eliminated half of the words, half of the letters in his last name. Some of them are silent.
You don't know that.
Sure. Well, I'm sure they are.
I did not, Josh. We don't joke about that, all right? My grandma had a stroke once. Just saying.
What?
Yeah. Greg with all the ahs checking in. I can't even read the comment with the straight face, Aaron. Thank you. I can't wait to hear Greg Sharp, perfectly healthy Greg Sharp, say it and say it properly. And
I know.
Teach me.
Same.
So that's 1 3-star.
Josh. I had nothing. Okay.
Fucking hell, Josh.
I know. I was just saying that you just sit there and take it, Josh, and now you have to go back and taking my comment back. Greg? What the heck? Is he paused?
My grandmother's a saint. How dare you?
You are such a jerk. I can't believe you just made me think that you froze. Oh my gosh. I'm like, what the hell? What? Greg, where are you?
Oh, that was great. That was so fun. That was worth it. Just holding still as long as I did. All right. Moving on. So another one who's in the house this weekend is safety Caden Vermas. from Nebraska who is already committed. And we thank him. I don't really know what to do at this point.
Well, we should probably get through these guys because we have like 13 things we need to talk about.
Fred says Minnie would rather Greg have a stroke than his video freeze. Nice.
Yeah, don't do that.
10 points for Greg. Thank you, Jason. All right. Well, who's the next one? Sorry.
I had no idea that we were giving points away. What's the game? What's the rules?
I don't know. This is the 5-Heart Podcast. There are no rules, just like there should not be a format, but it is what it is. I'll give you the format, but don't put rules on the show, please.
Well, if there's points to be gotten, I want to know how to get them.
You'll find out when you earn them. That's all I know. That's right. I can't think of the name of the show. This improv show that was on back in the day.
Whose line is it?
Thank you. Whose line is it anyway? The rules are made up and the points don't matter. Fred says there are no rules. Okay. All right.
Fred.
Who's the next future Husker to talk about that I can throw his picture up here so we can move the show along?
Jackson Carpenter from Nebraska. He's also committed to Nebraska.
I'll tell you what. I like this young man's. I like the cut of his jib. And when I put this picture up, there you go. Come on now. That's awesome. A lot of corn.
Now he chose. I love that he chose. Well, that's not a Husker uniform. I thought he was wearing a green shirt to emulate our quarterbacks.
I mean, I think it's a Lincoln Southwest shirt. I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah, it is. It is. You're right. But I do love this artwork.
That's what I'm saying. It's tremendous stuff.
It's from that guy, Hayes Fawcett. Do you follow him?
Nope.
He does awesome artwork.
I believe it. I've seen him here and there, but yeah. Well, moving on, another one who's in town this weekend, 3-star athlete, and his name is Noah King. Now here, I'm gonna throw another picture up here to do as much of a side-by-side as possible. These people are the same age, all right? Caden Vermas, Noah King.
That's unbelievable.
Caden.
I know.
Noah. Something about this ain't right. Somebody was eating his Wheaties and somebody was not. I don't know. But Noah King is in town.
Look at his knee circumference.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, that's right, Josh. You missed the conversation about knee circumference. Like last week it was wrist and, now this week apparently it's knee circumference.
Yeah. We need.
You'll appreciate that. You read that one. That's one for Minnie.
He ate his kneadies. Sorry.
Thanks, Aaron Keene.
Because the K is silent. Thank you.
I hope you weren't going to say Canadies.
I was not. It took me a second. I had to read it first. Anyways, should we move on to another commitment that already has been committed to Nebraska? June 8th.
I'm about to be committed somewhere.
Here's Mooberry.
This is a great Nebraska name.
This is a great last name. I can picture it already on the back of his jersey. Linebacker.
So Here's the only thing that maybe is a little too on the nose with Pierce Mooberry is if he messes up, if he doesn't prep well in practice or doesn't perform well in the game, like I'm going to have a real hard time not giggling when the comments come out on X or whatever about how he's on a milk carton because his name is Mooberry. I'm not even going to apologize for that one. That one's worth it. That one's worth it to me. I don't care. Y'all can kiss my ass.
Dude, look at it. He looks serious. Don't mess with him.
Yep. All right, another one in
have
town.
A great nickname. I know it.
Tanner Turch.
Yes, and this was our first commitment from this class, 2025, because he committed, didn't he?
He sure did.
He committed in April.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
April 25th. Yeah. This kid has been committed.
So we're all gonna be committed
from Colorado,
Holy shit.
wide receiver. And yeah, this is nice to host all these guys that already have a heart for Nebraska, along with all these people that we're trying to, these major targets that we're trying to get.
Would you say they have a heart on for Nebraska?
Yes. They have 5 hearts. Greg. I know. You are just such a kid sometimes.
I can't help it. I'm such a cad. All right. Melissa got it right away. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate you playing along. Melissa, this beer's for you. I mean, it's not. It's still mine, but this swig I dedicate to you, Melissa.
Okay.
That's right. Will you lay down? It is not rocket science.
She's very busy tonight. She wants to be part of the show, Greg.
She is part of the show. She's supposed to be on the other side of the gate. That's what happens when they don't close the gate. Hey. Okay, she laid down. All right, nobody talk about her. We're all done. Okay. We don't have a picture for this one, so we're just
not
gonna
there.
We got linebacker Will Hawthorne from Iowa.
Yep. Go ahead, Craig.
Thank you. He's got Iowa State offer and Nebraska offer, and he received the offer at camp. So no pictures for Will. We got pictures of 83 other people on the show tonight, but Will Hawthorne is the one guy.
Because he was at our camp and just got offered. So it was kind of like a last minute, addition. Sorry, I forgot.
Sorry. Hey, it's cool. It's cool. Jason wants me to share my beer with the dog. Look, if it were a lesser beer, maybe. But we're to the Yingling now. And, she's also old. 13 and a half years old. You might not hear that clickety-clacking in the background come Christmas. I just got a feeling, so.
Greg, really?
She's had her health issues. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick about it. Do you know how...
That is a horrible thing to say.
Do you know how old 13 and a half is in dog years?
Yeah, because I have a dog that old. She's perfectly she's going to be around another 10 years.
I hope she is.
Lord willing. And so is yours. So is Coco.
Oh. She don't even want to be part of this conversation another 10 seconds. She's like, get to me the hell out of here. All right. So, Will Hawthorne, welcome to Lincoln. Now, we got a few that are still out there that we're hoping to acquire in the summer or, in the not too distant future. Right. One of those being Dawson Merritt, 4-star linebacker from Kansas. his dad
Yes,
is an
we've
assistant
had.
coach with the Chiefs.
Remember me talking to you about him?
We have talked about him on the show
How,
before. I do remember.
yes. So we're still really hoping that he commits. Kind of looking towards Alabama, but Nebraska still has a chance. So let's just hope that we hear something positive about him. And then last but not least, Christian Jones, the 4-star from Westside. He's a linebacker, and he is an in-state recruit that we really need to lock down. We already have Caden Vermoss and Pierce Mooberry, and Christian Jones is a teammate of theirs at Millard North. So it's really kind of important that we lock down those in-state kids, right?
I think so. Especially, if
Especially a
he's
linebacker.
and a 4-star. He could be the next like Isaac Gifford type. Luke Gifford or yeah. I would love a little bit more depth at linebacker. So.
You were talking about thigh circumference. Look at those thighs.
Nope. I have not had enough beer in me to go look at man's thighs.
He's a football player.
He's a minor. You're not supposed to be looking at his thighs, madam.
Then why is he wearing shorts like that?
You'd have to ask him. I've never worn shorts that short in my life.
His thighs are bulging out of the shorts.
I don't need to hear about his bulge in his shorts, madam. We need to move on.
Yeah, you do, because this matters for a football player.
Nope. We are moving on. I can't believe you said that. Shameful. What? Talking about the bulge in his shorts.
Who? I didn't.
You were talking about them things bulging in his shorts.
No, not like that. No. That's not what I meant.
Fred says, geez, Minnie going to be catcalling guys. He don't want to hear it, but he shouldn't dress like that. Or no, if he doesn't want to hear it, then he shouldn't dress like that.
That's not true.
Aaron Keene, look at those thighs. Minnie, 10:32 p.m. Central, 6/20/24. Somewhere in there, someone's going to go through here and yeah. Mm-hmm. You mentioned the bulge.
I didn't mean to.
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5-Hour Podcast, says, new rule for the show, no more measurements. Hey, David, if you don't want to talk measurements, then how are you going to know if I can do that? All right? That's the true measurement right there.
Size of your wrist matters.
Big hand, decent wrist, all right? This is a third string practice squad NFL wrist, I'm telling you. The rest of my body's shit. But the wrist could have had 3-4 good snaps at the professional level.
Nice. And you could have been a long snapper.
Yep. All right, where are we moving off to now?
Okay, Greg.
Are you ready?
So now, yeah.
Let's do it.
I am.
Let's
do it.
Let's move on to the next topic is what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to...
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Quarterback. Adrian Martinez. 2 a.m. wins the championship MVP on Sunday.
For the UFL.
For the UFL, of course.
Yep, the Birmingham Stallions won the championship. Adrian Martinez he was the regular season MVP. He's the championship MVP. And I'm very proud of him. Also, I think we need to have a talk off air about your inflection and your shouting at the whisper level. It's off-putting, but it's 2 a.m. Yeah.
Greg.
I wasn't seeing it, but I had a pretty good idea. Like, that's what it looked like. So look at that shirt.
Okay. This is what I love. Who in the world would have thunk it when he was playing at Nebraska that people would be selling shirts with his face and MVP all over the place? There's so many sites. If you want your own shirt, Greg, you could just order one. I'm sure it would get to you in time before your other shirt.
You ain't kidding. I mean, the fact of the matter, all he really needed to do was go to Kansas State and have a real coach.
True.
And then, get drafted by the Detroit Lions and cut by the Detroit Lions and get acquired in this makeshift secondary league and, beat out A.J. McCarron and other has-beens or never-weres. And I'm not saying this to be overtly negative, but that is one god-awful ugly-ass shirt.
It kind of is. There's people modeling them online.
Of course there are.
But you know what's so sad is they've already gone on sale. I mean, it's not even a week after he wins. So.
I mean, they've dropped the price.
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, I've never heard of this website ever. Fanity Co. Yeah.
It's kind of like Fananamily.
Fanamily, no. More like Van Damley. Yeah, that shirt does suck. And we're very proud of Adrian Martinez. We know that the real reason behind his success, if you go back, is he got the sleeve tattoo. He didn't have that in Lincoln, and his game suffered for it. But there's a question here in the notes and says, does he get another chance at the NFL? He might, but not. I mean, I said this last week, and I'm not trying to poo-poo on the guy. I have a lot of respect for Adrian Martinez. And living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, says Adrian Martinez had a garage sale in Papillion, signed a bunch of Nebraska merch, and took selfies with the fans. He's a class act. I got no issues with him whatsoever as a person or honestly as a ball player. But he's not top-tier NFL talent. He will never be a starter in the NFL. He's...
Greg, what if he just needed to be developed more?
There's going to be somebody younger than him who is better. Period.
Dylan.
I pump the brakes. Dylan is unproven and untested at anything outside of high school level. I hope he's successful. I hope he is everything you want him to be. Because if that's the case, then 2-3 years from now, we'll be talking about Nebraska in the college football playoffs. That is my honest to God sincere
and we
hope.
will be talking about the Dylan shirts.
Yeah, but Adrian Martinez as a starting NFL quarterback, like there are guys in the draft now who would see playing time before Adrian Martinez who were not top draft picks. I don't see it in the NFL. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean to him. Again, ton of respect for him. I just he can have do whatever he wants to do. I don't care. Like Tommy Armstrong's winning championships for the Omaha Beefeaters or whatever the hell they are in the Arena Football League, and that's cool. You gotta know your ceiling, right? I mean, is that? I don't think that's rude to say.
Well, we don't know what his ceiling is. That's what I'm saying. I mean, like I said earlier, did you ever think that he would be MVP of a championship team?
Look, I am a St. Louis Battlehawk fan. Cacaw is the law. But they are about... Huh?
Nothing.
What did you say?
Nothing.
What did you said something. I picked it up in my ear holes. What did you say?
Continue, Greg.
The UFL/XFL is like a 24-pack of beer away from being like sideshow football. I'm sorry. Why are you whispering at
me? I'm glad you got that out. Now we know how you feel.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right, here we go. Melissa says, words of wisdom. I heard there are 5 NFL teams talking to him. Cool.
Hey, good for him. And he's planning on getting married and moving back to Lincoln. Did you catch that? And he also gave a shout out to Nebraska fans, saying how great we are. Greg.
I appreciate his vote of confidence in us. I'm also typing a comment because everybody thinks I said caca is caw, like the sound that the battle hawk makes. Caw. The caw is the law. So, can I play? No, but I'm aged out and
he has big wrists though. Does that count?
I have bad knees and a ruptured disc in my back. So,
yeah,
I'm not in great shape. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. All right. For the love of God, what's next? It's 10:42. It's not great.
Okay, Greg. What happened today?
Thursday happenings. That's what happened today. 4-star Michael Riles from Texas was scheduled to take his official visit this weekend. He is currently committed to he committed to Ohio State.
Sorry. No, he didn't. He committed to Oklahoma. I don't know why there's an S in there. Sorry.
I don't know. Do I have a picture of him?
Wrong school.
Coco, crying out loud. Lay down.
Yep.
Drive me nuts.
So it begs the question. I don't know. I guess he's not visiting, but
maybe he's not.
And then Rule had a press conference today.
He did.
He talked about the roster limits.
He did.
He basically said, no one knows anything yet.
They don't.
Right now, there is no roster limit, so they're going with that.
There's not, and they are.
Greg, what are you doing?
In full agreement with you. I'm backing you up every step of the way, boss. I know my place now.
I've never had anyone echo everything I say right after I say it, people. Okay. All right.
I thought you were going to continue saying so. Okay, I'll move on.
I'm going to, or you can.
Yeah, no, it'd be great. So we heard about 2 players that got added from the camp. One of them we talked about at the very beginning, Mr. Jalen Gramstead. And while Rule didn't disclose who the other person was, he said they were working on some loose ends.
And so he didn't want to say just yet.
And I'll say this, Jalen, who came to Nebraska from an NAIA school, Northwestern, all accounts indicate that the school made that transition very easy for him. And think about this. I mean, it's the end of June. They were probably planning on him being the starting quarterback. Now he's like, see ya, guys, I'm going to go Division I. Great for him. But, Winter put them in a bit of a bind. Elsewhere from the press conference today, Rule indicated that while Blyhill is still, his injury status is still up in the air, Turner Corcoran, Deshaun Singleton, Gabe Irvin Jr. are all healthy. And he also said that they're working on, I don't know how the topic came up.
You got it.
Women's football. Matt Rule says his daughter wants to be quarterback for the Packers. They're going to work on some 7-on-7 camps for girls and I guess the initiative to have women's football in the Olympics.
Yeah. He said that women's football is going to be in the Olympics, and he said, you watch, it's going to be in the NCAA one day. too. So, women's football, people. How do we feel about this?
Neither under nor overwhelmed. I'm just kind of meh about it, if I'm being honest.
I mean, I love that there's a Coach Darling, I think was his last name. Anyways, he did a class. He does a class in Omaha where he teaches women how to play football. Which is so great because as a woman, you never really can totally understand it.
Josh says,
what does it feel like to blitz the quarterback?
I don't know.
I actually don't want to know, but it's kind of nice to like maybe walk through the steps.
So I feel like you see more and more every year, like in the last like practice or something like that of a high school football career, like moms get to put on like helmets and a shoulder pad and like tackle their sons onto like a crash pad type thing, like their senior sons. That's kind of fun, I guess. Josh has been, he shows up an hour and 10 minutes late, and then he starts talking crap like says, why is Craig being mean to Minnie? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I am. He says, I used to watch women's football, but had to change the channel when my mom walked in. Are you familiar with the LFL?
No.
If this is what I'm thinking of, and I believe it, yeah. The Lingerie Football League.
Are you serious? There's an actual football league where women wear lingerie and play?
Yeah, like helmets, shoulder pads, lingerie, knee-high socks, cleats, things like that, or football shoes, because they're largely indoor games. Yeah, full contact, just in a lot of double stick tape, I believe. A lot of double stick tape. So.
Okay. Interesting.
You should, as soon as we're done here, you should run over to YouTube and just YouTube a few clips. You'd actually probably be surprised by the quality of football, because they were hard hits. So
is it like the wrestling, women's wrestling? Is it like that?
I mean, except like with actual contact and like helmets and shoulder pads and.
Oh, it's a real game.
Yeah, they're just wearing lingerie.
For real.
Yeah, hold on.
I just have a hard time believing this.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. We're gonna make a believer out of you. I don't know how. Well, probably not with that picture.
Greg.
I'm doing this as diligently as I can. I'm only one man looking for lingerie football pictures. I don't know what you want from me.
This conjures up all kinds of pictures for our male listeners, especially the ones that aren't like here with us on this show. Okay.
See,
that's they got what I pictured.
They've got spats on their ankles, like taped up ankles, and there's a football and helmets.
They are hardcore. They're hardcore.
Good if anything, they're more hardcore than the men because they're wearing less pads. Yeah, think about that.
Yeah, they're like, we don't need clothes. It's for sissies. Interesting.
Just saying. Never would have thought.
Thank you, Greg.
Never would have thought. I'm here.
I learned so much here. This is like.
It's not, Aaron. It's not. It's just, hey, families, I'm sure, were going to those games.
And Melissa's like, nope, not the same.
Let's see. Jason says, I'm a grandpa and a girl dad and a girl grandpa. Ignoring the lingerie stuff, I don't want my elementary grandson or elementary age granddaughters playing football until high school at least. So.
Yep.
Jason, I would have never thought you were a granddad. So.
No, me either.
I mean, we don't know anything about you.
I know a little bit about Jason Reeves.
Okay, sorry.
I know he graduated from high school in 1991 because we were talking.
Did you say 1891?
No, poor guy. No, I didn't make him older than he is. 91, he said, because that's the year that movie that Andy talked about with Rostovsky the other night.
Mm-hmm. Unnecessary roughness.
Unnecessary roughness.
Actually, it might have been necessary. I'm sorry.
Necessary roughness. Yes.
Sorry, I've got a bad memory. It's been a long time since I've been. It is necessary roughness. I'm a horrible human being. I'm such a piece of shit.
Yes, you are.
Wow.
What is this?
I called myself a piece of shit, and you were like, "Yeah, no, you are a piece of shit." Thank you.
No, it's true.
Thank you.
Okay.
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says, I picture Jason someone around his mid-30s. Yeah, same.
Yeah, you seem so young, Jason. Yet so old. Kidding.
All right. We'll flip it through here. Let's see. We're going to hold off on section 13 because it's already almost 11 o'clock. And it was a speculation thing. We didn't have any research or anything like that. We're going to rip through some of these starred comments. And we're going to go right to the very beginning of the show when Melissa said at 9:04, Minnie, have you started stalking the new cornerback we might get?
Not yet.
Okay. Tiger Shark.
As soon as well, I'll probably start stalking him tomorrow.
Perfect. At least we know. TSD says Minnie has a great Husker wall. I think that was addressed earlier. Aaron Keene says Nebraska is crushing it on the recruiting front all around. This is the way. Nice Mandalorian reference there, Ian. I'm proud of you. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast. We have 3 of them in a row, so we're going to do these as quickly as I can, and I'm not going to say your name each time until you bring me a damn koozie. I like the fact I don't remember who our athletic director is. Good sign he's not doing things to piss us off. That's fair.
It's true.
He says, are Greg and Minnie going to be able to make it to any games? Well, I do have a birthday coming up in a few weeks, and I'm trying to put some game tickets on said birthday list. So we'll see. Still trying to figure out how to get to that Nebraska-Colorado game with Josh, with Haas, with maybe some of you. So we'll see. We will see. And then the last thing that I can't say last thing. We've got more.
Greg.
Oh, sorry. Yes, ma'am.
I didn't ask you the question.
Sorry.
That's okay. It is your show. Yes, I'm going to games. Hopefully games. If not, I'll be here with you guys.
Let's get her to some games, right? No, I'm kidding. That's so funny. And Mr. Matney says, what opponents are on our Mount Rushmore of teams we hate? Colorado.
Love that question.
Michigan.
That's a fantastic
Ohio
question.
State, and Iowa.
I agree with all of those.
I'm kind of ambivalent towards Michigan. I hate Ohio State, but I think I hate Wisconsin more. I think you got to put Colorado and Iowa on there. Texas. I'd probably put Texas on there, although we don't see them really a lot.
It's funny how nobody even talks about Oklahoma anymore.
We don't hate them. We always had that healthy respect, right? It was like, we because we were 1 and 2.
I thought we hated them.
Melissa says Texas. Aaron also says fuck Texas. Highlander Gun says Florida State. That's right. She called me a piece of shit.
No, I didn't.
No, you just didn't disagree with me when I called myself a piece of shit.
Well, yeah. Why would I do that?
I don't know.
Yes, Miami. Yeah, he's right. We
Josh
still
says,
hate Miami.
Josh says Texas, Florida State, Miami, Florida, Colorado, Michigan, Iowa. No, Mount Rushmore's 4, Josh. It's 4.
That's too many. You can't have that many on your Mount Rushmore.
Fred says Colorado, Texas, Trev Alberts, and Miami. So I'm pretty comfortable with Colorado.
He omitted Iowa,
Texas, and I would go Wisconsin. I'm so sick of losing to Wisconsin. Like, ugh, I want to beat them so bad. So those would be my 4. Josh says you aren't the bosses of my mountain. Yes, we are. Don't you ever forget it, bitch. Wolverine Nation commented earlier and says, "Can't wait till y'all beat Colorado." Neither can we.
Same.
Mr. Matney says, "Greg, in your discussions with Haas, what is Haas's biggest concern about the upcoming season?" So we haven't been talking about the upcoming season much. We've been revisiting last year. So I anticipate we'll see Haas a few times this summer yet before fall ball begins. So you keep coming back, and we'll try to get Haas's take on biggest concerns for the upcoming season. Stay tuned. I don't know what that was. I apologize, kind of.
That was actually really scary. What was that, Greg?
I got nothing. Let's see. Okay, we're never. Mr. Matney, you're going to have to save some of these questions for next week, or we'll never go home. I'll be doing this show at 6 o'clock in the morning.
He has a lot of good questions. This is what we are going to be talking about all of July. All of these questions.
Fred says Haas's biggest concern is Greg's knee circumference and wrist size. All right, this is not a question. This is a comment. This is our last star comment. I'm not saying that this will be the last comment of the night. But Mr. Matney says, let's do next week's show with absolutely no show prep. Just wing it. You see the look of fear on somebody's face at the notion of just winging it.
Okay, here's how the notes happen, people. I did the show the first week, and I'm like, holy cow, how do you even know what you're talking about? I have to prepare something. So I started writing notes for myself, and I just said, hey guys, since I'm writing notes for myself, I thought I might give them to you as well, because sometimes I forget what goes on in the week. And that's how it started. So, I mean, we forget what happens otherwise, but you guys are there to remind us. So I don't know. Do we need them? I feel like we need them. I feel like we really need them. Am I wrong?
Cook. John Cook, Jason Reeves. John Cook is the volleyball coach our next day. I don't know. Do we need the notes? Let me put it this way. I sent the link of the notes, the full notes, not the abridged version, but the full notes that you shared with me to Haas. And he clicked it because he's like, oh, what are you going to talk about on the 5 Heart tonight? And I said, oh, let me make that easy for you. He's like, oh, that's a way more effort than we ever put into the show. So, Mr. Manny, the show is better organic. It's definitely shorter organic. I can guarantee you that much. Hey, maybe sometime this summer we'll try the all organic, non-GMO 5 Heart podcast and just try it on for size, and we'll see how it fits. I think it's easier to do that, and if I'm being 100% honest, I do think it's easier to do that during the season because we can, like I'll have the stats or something pulled up and we can at least reflect on that without going full, like breaking it down. when we're in the summer months, and I'll defend Minnie on this one, we're in the summer months and we're looking for shit to talk about. Like, there's a reason back in 2017? Yeah, I think it was either 2016 or 2017 or possibly both. Like, Brian Toll and I, we just took a lot of weeks off. That was a different show. It wasn't live. There wasn't the expectation that we'd be here every Thursday night, 9 o'clock. But I'd send him a message and be like, Brian, I don't really have a whole lot to say tonight. He's like, yeah, neither do I. We'd go weeks in some of those off seasons, like between the spring game and August, without doing a show. So this is definitely a different iteration of the Five Heart Podcast. And I like being here every week with you all. Like I said, this is, even though it's not Monday Night Therapy, it's therapeutic for me in a way. It's peace. We'll work on the notes situation. How about that? I like some notes. Notes also mean a lot more work for me, but it's a lot of work for Minnie. And if she wants to put in the work,
I love it. You guys don't get it. I mean, this is true, and I told Greg this. Before I had this, I would journal at night. Today, Matt Rule had a press conference. So I need this outlet. It helps.
Like, y'all don't realize that there's a whole section on the notes of today's happenings because she had the notes done yesterday so I could get the format out so I could fill the stream.
Okay.
Jason Reeves says, I like the show. I try not to be an asshole, but this is getting fun. Hey.
Thank you.
We're fine.
It is fun. That's what it's here for.
My bladder's doing great, Fred. Thank you. And we can't wait till next Thursday, Melissa, for the show again.
Thank you. Thank you, Melissa.
It's a great time. Y'all are wonderful people. I say it each and every week. We know that, y'all pay for entertainment like Netflix and other streaming services. And y'all are watching us for free. A lot of you. Some of you, like get memberships and buy memberships for others. But by and large, I mean, YouTube, it's kind of free. So we appreciate you greatly. And we look forward to seeing you again next week. Right, Minnie?
That's right. I can't wait.
Will you read your diary entry?
Craig.
What?
Okay.
You don't
need here says.
You just start at the quote. Just start at the quote. Just like, I'm Minnie and I'm writing in my journal, my diary.
Dear diary, Dylan. You guys, yeah. You should actually be grateful that I know so much about Dylan, so you guys don't have to look it up.
What shoe size does he wear?
No, I don't know that.
All right.
But oh my gosh, have you seen?
Nope.
Did you see pictures of his brother? I know we talked about him already, how we visited last week, but oh my gosh.
It's my fault. I blame myself.
I was worried that, he might be shorter than Dylan. That kid has grown up a lot. It'll be interesting to see what he does this year.
This close to get out of the show. All right. I think that's time. We've I'm spent. That's it for this episode of the Five Heart Podcast. We do truly appreciate each and every one of you. Almost 500 are joining us tonight. Most of you are on X, and again, interact with us on X or join us on Facebook. YouTube is definitely where we get the most interaction, so we have a tremendous community there. But hey, if you're joining us tonight, we appreciate you greatly, regardless of the platform. And hey, if you miss it live on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock till, dear God in heaven, 11 o'clock, then make sure you join us.
We to bed.
We do. Oh, next week we should prepare a lullaby.
Oh,
We'll just sing them all to sleep. Twig. I don't know. Twinkle,
okay.
twinkle, little
We'll
stars.
work on that. We'll work on that.
I don't know if that's very. All right. For Minnie Hunt, I am Greg Mahachko. This is the 5 Heart Podcast, and we remind you each and every week, because for some reason you crazy bastards keep coming back, that 5 Heart is all the heart you need. Minnie?
Go big.
I'm not going to lie. Your microphone cut out, so it sounded like you said go big, Ed. And
Red.
Well, I figured, but
she has hands. Red.
Andy Harris is here, and he said red. So thank you, Andy. Good night, everybody. Go Big Red.